All righty. We're up to episode 6. Is there 2 left, I think, right, Mandy? Two
Yeah,
left?
I think 2 left. 8 episodes in total.
The overall view of the episode, I think it was way better than last week's. Last week seemed to be a setup episode.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot jammed into this, which makes me wonder how they're even going to get to part of it in 2 episodes
Yeah,
because there's so much.
I think we're going to get up to a cliffhanger for the next season.
And they're talking about a spinoff too. So
Yeah.
I don't know where that's going to be. It could be Cindy, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Because this episode cracks open a whole new world of what's going on.
Well, it's also weird that it's kind of weird in a show to be in season 2, almost done, and we're only now learning the backstory.
Yes,
of a lot of the people
of the characters that we've seen in action. We've grown to love, but now we're getting their backstory, and I'm liking them even more.
Yeah, but it's weird, right? I mean, most of the time you have flashbacks and stuff early on.
Yeah, to introduce you to the characters.
15 or whatever episodes that we are into it, because the first, I believe it starts with 8 years ago, right?
Yeah, 8 years ago. Yeah, we're in Frenchie's apartment, and he's hanging out with his prostitute friend lady, Madam,
who ends up being a assassin for hire at some point.
She dishes out assassin assignments.
She does the assignments more than that.
So we start out 8 years ago. They're hanging out, doing some drugs, and Frenchie starts explaining his love for Golden Girls.
I know.
I thought was pretty awesome.
Yes. They do have the comedic, some episodes are more comedy than others. But they did not rely, it's not reliable. It's just not all comedy.
Right.
This particular episode is the most violent and least amount of comedy that we've seen I think, in a while.
Well,
there's still comedy.
Yeah, this had some very funny moments. I mean, some very laugh out loud moments. I would say. So, Frenchie's explaining to his friends, which Golden Girl each one is, and he's talking about how he didn't have any family, so he formed his own when he first came to New York. So.
Right.
We're kind of getting a setup.
He's turning tricks, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that will pay off later on in the episode. So from there we go, and the boys and Starlight are hanging out, and they're gonna cut out her chip.
This is another one of those where I'm bothered by a little bit because, as we've mentioned in the past when we do the reviews, you would think that they'd be bugging them, watching them all the time. And now they can take out a chip and there's no alarm system that goes off that says the chip is outside the body.
Right. Which again, in my own head canon or whatever's going on, I'm thinking this is all part of Vought's plan.
Right. That's the only thing that that I can see that can save it. It comes back around that they knew exactly what was all going on.
Yeah. This whole time that Edgar, who's Gus from Breaking Bad, I don't know why I have to say that every time. But,
I know, I do too.
He knows what's going on. I think he's got this master plan, and part of it is Starlight defecting. Over to
because otherwise it makes no sense that she can just wander around willy-nilly, take out a chip. There would have to be some system of knowing the chip was removed.
Right. And Vought is so powerful, that you would think they'd have they would have a SWAT team ready to follow that has been trailing her this whole time. And they, would bust down the doors as soon as they take the chip out, if that's not what Vought wanted to happen. So that makes me think that this is all going to, according to Vaught's plan.
Maybe. And of course, when they take the chip out, this has become a running gag, if you will, throughout the seasons. Blood on Huey's face.
Yeah.
He's constantly hitting the face with blood.
Which was a funny moment because Frenchie's sitting there, he calls him La Petite Huey. I know you've had blood splattered on you from all kinds of humans and even sea mammals.
Sea mammals
from the whale a couple episodes back. So it was funny. It was a nice light moment.
In
an otherwise disgusting splatter of blood, but they get it out, and then we cut to the next scene where a guy apparently has I don't know, robbed a bank or robbed somebody.
Yeah.
He's hanging out in an alley, counting his cash, looking at his loot, and then we see Homelander. He lands there, and also Stormfront, and the guy's like trying to pull a gun on him, and then it turns into a weird kind of erotic moment.
Like it's like foreplay or something as he gets all excited.
Which ends with Homelander squeezing the guy's head into a bloody, like a pimple against the wall.
Licking the blood.
Licking the blood, making out with Stormfront, and it's a real. But they do talk about how the justice system fails and how he'll be out in a day, blah blah blah. So you can, it just kind of tells you what kind of people they are and how they feel about how the world's going.
Yeah, they've gone so sideways, and they're just justifying it in their own head because they wanted to kill, they wanted to murder.
Yeah. Our next scene, we go and we got Butcher and Kamiko watching some sort of entertainment show with Stormfront and Homelander talking to each other, and the look on Kamiko's face when she she's very great at nonverbal. Her eyes kind of slide over and look at Butcher, and he's like, they're doing it. Yeah, they're doing it. So that was a funny scene. Then Starlight and Huey come down, and Starlight's like, "This is where you've been living?"
Yeah, she's like, "This is a rat hole of a thing."
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I've just been hanging out with some drug dealers, and there's lots of rats who are Pokemon."
Right. The is the next scene where they show the commercial, or was it already the Maeve commercial where she has the lesbian power bar? It's a gay power bar. I think the tagline is "Can't be proud on an empty stomach." They're just using it. It's just so ridiculous. They're using the whole gay thing as a way to sell products and to and move things that it mocks the.
Yeah, it's just so
they don't really care about the gay issue. They're just selling stuff.
Yeah. So Starlight gives them the lead on the psychiatric hospital that she found on Stormfront's laptop.
Yep.
And so Butcher's like, well, we got to head there. So then, yes, we're watching the commercial, and then the Deep comes in the trailer of Maeve, and she has had him looking for the black box, which is a callback to last season when Homelander and Maeve are on that flight and end up just killing everybody, not saving anyone.
Complete mass murder.
Yeah.
Of everyone.
This is all part of Maeve's plan to try and take down Homelander. So the Deep gets his fish friends to find a camcorder that is somehow working. After it's been, under the ocean for who knows how long.
Apparently very well waterproofed.
Yeah, very, very well waterproofed. But then we move on. This next scene's pretty hilarious. The marketing lady standing there with A-Train, and some white guy has written a rap. Very, very corporate moment. Where the guy's sitting there, and she's like, "We got a rap for you," and they're trying to send A-Train off into the sunset and they're going to have Lil Nas X do the official version, which is pretty funny. But we get a little hint that A-Train's in some financial issues because he had to sell his Prince's guitar that he had.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Deep comes up and approaches A-Train on the set, and A-Train's like, "What are you doing here?" And the Deep's like, "Man, it's messed up what they're doing, trying to get you off the team." From there,
he offers them a Fresca.
Yes,
a Fresca is like a running gag for some reason.
Yes, I'm guessing it's kind of like the Kool-Aid of their cult.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha.
Maybe I don't know, but I think it's funny that that's how they do it, offering a Fresca all the time. So from there, the whole team gets to the psychiatric hospital in Pennsylvania, and they're trying to break in. And Starlight helps them get in through the chain link fence. And for a second, Butcher has his sights set on Starlight.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder if he's going to pull the trigger, but obviously he doesn't.
Right.
So then we go to a flashback of more Frenchie, and we figure out how Frenchie got involved with this team, with Colonel Mallory, and why why he was recruited, and why what Frenchie's motivation is. Basically,
it was to let his friends out of jail.
Yes,
he agrees to work with them. Your two friends are free to go.
Yeah,
so Frenchie was so good at taking down soups too, because he took away the one's courage or whatever it was, or bravery.
Yeah,
took away the rage.
Yeah, with the Xanax bomb, which
weaponized Xanax. Weaponized Xanax. That's funny.
So yeah, Frenchie was facing 20 to 25 years in prison. So he takes the deal from Colonel Mallory to join the Black Ops team and to protect his friends.
Yes.
So then we head back to this. Oh, go ahead.
Is this where Annie goes off on Butcher about you're basically just a racist, basically, because you hate everybody that's not you hate all superheroes.
First we get back to the set of the Seven, the movie, and the Homelander's trying to get Stormfront to come in his trailer.
Oh, we're in the jealous part.
Yeah, because he's got some flowers for her, which he thinks is just the greatest thing ever. I don't know.
Well, he's so immature and so narcissistic. He's very immature. He's been raised basically in a lab, created by a lab, raised in a lab. So I think he doesn't have any real a lot of human traits are a problem.
Right. And later we see that he gets jealous and ends up burning down his trailer when Stormfront doesn't come back in 20 minutes and goes to the tower like
he pouts. He pouts away every time he leaves and stuff.
Just a big baby. And then we go back. We're got the team. They're infiltrating the psychiatric hospital.
Oh yeah.
And we also have the moment where, this is where she's berating him for being a bigot and racist,
bully, and everything else. Because there is no reason for him to hate Starlight. There's no reason except that he just hates all superheroes. He wouldn't even accept his own. It's not his own kid, but his wife's kid.
Right.
That's how much he hates superheroes.
Yes. Which, to me signals something deeper. Something else had to have happened before Homelander forced himself on his wife.
To have this deep, deep hatred.
Yeah, I think there's got to be something more there, but maybe we'll find out a little later.
It might have something to do with that. His brother that they briefly mentioned in the other
Lenny.
episode.
Yeah, Lenny.
So it might have something to do with him.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get some more clarity on that. But then they see Stormfront land. They break into the main security room, and that's when they figure out what the psychiatric hospital's all about. It's
insane, huh? It's crazy. Like the things that they see there is a little spooky, a little weird.
They're watching the monitors and they're seeing the various powers, and they see the one guy with the huge hoogie and the other guy with the acid reflux and
the love sausage they call the guy in the credits.
Yes, love sausage.
Love sausage.
Yes.
And the guy that vomits acid.
Yeah. Now, one of the interesting things in this scene, Kamiko, she's watching the monitors. And she's kind of getting teary-eyed and just kind of, she's really just,
there's something, there's a connection there.
Yeah, like I don't know if she was held in a
that's what I think.
Yeah, in a similar situation and given powers as an adult too, or something. But Mother's Milk gets up to comfort her. She's just, you can tell she's really upset watching it. But
because she mentioned something when she was with her brother about them being in a camp.
Yeah.
And they took out a village or something. So she might have been in one of these places. And so that would indicate that she's super, super, super powerful.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been able to figure out how to get the V into adults. So if it got it into her and
it's stabilized.
She's going to stabilize. She's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Because they Lamplighter later on talks about how The adults, you either you get your powers, you become deformed, or you explode. So
right.
But they're watching on the monitors, and they see Stormfront and Lamplighter in there with the 17-year-old that they mentioned in the last episode.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
On the phone.
On the phone when she was talking to Lamplighter.
And he's like, he's only 17. Well, this is the kid, I assume.
Right.
And the kid's basically the kid was suicidal, and they had him checked into a mental hospital, which is a good thing when you're in that.
If it was a real
frame of mind,
if it was real therapy.
His family obviously thought this was a real psychiatric hospital, and he's like, I want to talk to my sister. And Stormfront's like, yeah, we'll see what we can do. And then Lamplighter flicks his lighter and burns the guy.
His skin off, yeah.
Just burns him down.
It's interesting to me that Lamplighter needs a flame to make the fire.
Yes.
Like he can't just make like some of the superheroes are doing things.
Right.
He needs a flame. He basically has like hairspray coming out of his hands or something.
Yes. Yeah. And
don't you think that's kind of weird?
Yeah. And in a later in the episode when Starlight she needs power. And I'm like,
yes, that's another one.
Why can't you use the sun or why do you need electricity to use your powers?
Right. And the electricity is not like she's plugged in. It's
right.
just an electrical field of some sort.
Yes, just somewhere around her.
So, I mean, maybe that's an indication of something to come that we'll find out that some of these superheroes need something. Well, we did kind of find it. Now I think about it and started to put two and two together. And Frenchie's scene with a flashback took away the rage. He had no power.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I wrote down he did something else with somebody else. He took away somebody else's thing. But so now I'm on to something, I think.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
There is a lot of these soups, they have something that they need to make the power go.
Yes. Which is a weakness for potentially every single
soup. You just have to figure out what their weakness is.
Yeah.
That just dawned on me now too. That is
they're particular.
They are showing that more and more now that you mentioned it.
They've kind of been throwing out breadcrumbs showing us.
Yeah. He needs a lighter, which is really weird.
And remember last season, the translucent, the guy that they blew up, they had to shove the bomb up his butt because that was the only way that they could kill him. So everybody has their Achilles heel, I guess. Every superhero has it. So, and
they're all like and a lot of them, except for the up the butt thing, is a relatively easy thing to prevent.
Yeah,
Lamplighter, you just don't give him any fire. He's got nothing. Yeah. You take away the electrical field of Stormfront. She's got, or not Stormfront.
Starlight.
Yeah. She's got nothing.
Yeah. No powers.
I don't know. The Deep probably has something. Maybe if you take away his gills, I guess he's got nothing. Yeah. Or A-Train, well, his just runs out, it appears, because he had to take the V, so he must be just an age thing.
Yeah. He may have
been replaced before. Remember, he's like number 4 or 5 or whatever it is of A-Trains.
So apparently
you just age out of speed.
Yeah, they age it out, or their metabolism runs through the V or something.
So now, that's on. So everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
Except for probably, or less, at least we don't know about Homelander and Stormfront.
Yeah.
They might be the only ones. Okay.
Yeah. Those are the two.
That makes sense.
Back at the psychiatric hospital, Frenchie recognizes Lamplighter finally. And this leads us to a little bit later on where they recognize each other. But first,
made me mad. Why did they allow French to make eye contact with Lamplighter? They knew how they felt.
Right.
Could have put the sheet over his face. Could have done a lot of things.
Yes.
Lamplighter's going to recognize him.
Right. They were grabbing all the hard drives out of the room, and they could have just made their escape there.
Yes.
And no one would have had to die, and there wouldn't be a.
They could have waited till Lamplighter walked by that door.
Yes, but
then gone out.
But this speaks to what happens, what we find out about Frenchie and Lamplighter, their history, and so Frenchie just can't take it. He jumps up and he's pointing a gun at Lamplighter, and Lamplighter uses his fire. Frenchie dodges it, and he burns a door of another powerful soup.
And all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. And then this is when all hell breaks loose. You've got
the one that breaks out. That seems to me a little not a jab, but like a reference to Stranger Things.
Yes, yeah.
A girl with a shaved head escapes the evil conglomerate.
Yeah, telekinetic powers.
I mean, it might be in the comic book. I don't know, but it was very Stranger Thing like.
Yeah, it is, because she can crush things with her mind. And,
she's a pop.
Yeah, so she's bulletproof and very powerful. So that's when all hell breaks loose, and all the they escape back into the office, and they're all having this dialogue back and forth. They're watching all these guards dying and being blown up and exploded.
It's without a doubt the most violent episode we have seen. And my wife gave up on the show. Well, actually, she never watched it because I was like, kind of told her it was about. She's like, I don't know, it's too. I'm like, it's not violent. I'm glad I didn't say that before this episode.
Yeah, because this is when Acid Reflux guy breaks down the door, and
Acid Reflux guy,
and Kamiko helps him out, helps out Lamplighter, and the guy spits up on himself.
He throws up on himself and burns his face off.
Yeah,
that's bad acid reflux.
It was that's get some Pepsi AC, man. That's, but then we're back outside, and Butcher and Starlight and Huey are hanging out, and they see an escaped Soup, who's very scared, obviously, and he just freaks out. Butcher tries to calm him down and say, hey, we're all friends here, but the guy uses his powers. He flips the van, and
what do you
Butcher
call that
shoots.
thing? It shuts down the electrical field.
Like one
of those buttons.
EMP.
Something like that. Yes.
Electromagnetic pulse. Yes. EMP.
Yes.
And flips the van. Butcher shoots him, kills him. They run over to the van.
By the way, a rare superhero that is not bulletproof. Because that seems to be one of the common things.
Yes, exactly.
Almost all superheroes are bulletproof.
Exactly. Yeah, because Butcher just took him down with 3 shots.
Yeah.
But Huey gets out of the van. We think, oh, he's fine. But then he collapses.
But he does have blood on his face.
Yeah, he's got blood on his face and a Billy Joel shirt.
That's what I was about to say. It's the first time I noticed the Billy Joel T-shirt. That's the first time you noticed it?
Yeah, that was the first time I noticed.
I guess because he pulls it up to show it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Starlight can't cauterize the wound because the EMP guy.
Energy.
There's no energy. So we find out that that's her Achilles heel. We're back on the set of the 7. This is actually the scene where Homelander burns his trailer to the ground because he's jealous that Stormfront has not returned.
He's a good actor as far as he has that total baby face. Yeah. I think those two have good chemistry.
Yes.
And you don't know how. You really can't predict how Homelander is going to react to things.
No, exactly. And this guy does. Yeah,
there's no predictability.
He's actually a very good actor. Considering what this role is, I think this guy's an excellent actor. He's questioning her. Why weren't you? I went to the tower. But
he's pretending he doesn't. Like, I don't care. Or whatever.
Yeah, like it's not a big deal. But he he does that thing where he wraps his hand around her neck and kind of threatens her a little bit. But then he's like, "Oh, I still love you, honey." So from there, we skip to the Church of the Collective.
This is definitely so far a wasted storyline.
Yes,
it's humorous, but I don't know. It's gone nowhere.
Yeah,
it really has nothing. It's just kind of there, and I wish it weren't.
I agree. I think this is not needed at all.
Yeah, no. It's just an extra layer that is definitely not needed.
Yeah,
it might end up somewhere. I don't know, but it's been a waste since it started.
Yeah, so far we're I'm not enjoying it. But
it's kind of like it's just like we're throwing something in because we wanted to take a jab at Scientology. We wanted to have a comedy part or something. I don't know. It just seems useless.
Yeah. It's
because there's so many layers to this show anyway. We don't need that layer.
Right. I'd rather them follow the 2 main plots going on with Homelander and Stormfront, and then whatever's going on with the boys and
the background of these guys. I mean, anyway, it's cute. It's funny the first time, but it doesn't really play out to me. I'm done with it.
Right. But we've got the Deep and A-Train sitting there with Alistair, whatever his name is, who started the Church of the Collective. A-Train thinks he's just getting a free meal. And then the Deep lets out his true feelings to A-Train that you've always been sabotaging me. Yeah, it's a weird but funny.
And the picture in the background, a portrait that looks like L. Ron Hubbard a little bit.
Yes, I noticed that. Yeah, right over the Alistair guy's shoulder.
Yeah.
But A-Train's like, this is crap. I'm leaving. But then Alistair.
Oh, and he also says, I saw I've seen these documentaries about you guys.
Yes. And I'm like, yeah, I see all those documentaries too.
Leah Remini should be in this episode.
Yes. But A-Train gets up to leave, and Alistair's like, really? You're in 6-figure debt, and you're going to get up and leave? You know,
so they're blackmailing him, basically, which has always been the rumors about Scientology and celebrities.
Yes, because, we know A-Train is very materialistic and needs money badly. So then we're back at the psychiatric hospital. We got the team has broken into the room with all the meds, Frenchie decides to make a bomb to try and take out everybody, similar to the Xanax bomb,
right? But he just wants to take out the whole facility.
Yes, so they can get out safely. But this is the important scene where we find out exactly what happened between Lamplighter and Frenchie all those years ago. We flash back 5 years. Mother's Milk's about to get engaged, and they're meeting in a warehouse with Colonel Mallory, Butcher, Frenchie, and Mother's Milk. And Lamplighter comes in, and apparently,
an hilarious outfit, by the way.
Yes.
And I like the fact that they bust his balls over it too. That's great.
They're all laughing and call him a baton twirler. But this part, I'm hoping we get some more clarity on it in future episodes. The Colonel shows him some pictures like on an iPad, the Lamplighter, and to basically blackmail him. But we don't know what that was. What
did she have on him? Because he was in the 7. But she somehow recruited him to work from the inside. But we don't know how or why or what.
Yeah, we don't know how. She's just like, you look really good in these photos, but we don't know what exactly it is. So Lamplighter leaves. He's going to some sort of premiere. The Colonel tells Frenchie to tail him.
I think, by the way, Lamplighter, those pictures might be something to do with him and a guy or something. And here's why: is because there's jokes about it, like you look like a majorette, or and then you have the love sausage guy who wraps his thing around Eminem. So there's kind of a homophobic type thing. Within the group.
Frenchie mentions transgender strippers.
Yes. So I'm thinking there's somehow maybe it ties together.
Yeah. Mother's Milk's like, nah, I'm not really into strippers, but would you like to go golfing? Which I thought was kind of funny. So Lamplighter leaves, and then we cut back to Starlight, Butcher, and Huey along the side of the road. They flag down a car because they got to get Huey to a hospital.
I recognize that actor, and I tried to find out who it is, but
I did too. But
you did the same thing.
Yes, I did the same thing.
Because I thought maybe it was like Dennis. This is because Jack Quaid plays Huey, so I thought maybe it was. He kind of looked a little bit like Huey in a way. Yeah. So I thought maybe there was some connection. I'll still have to keep digging. I dug it. I could not find out who that guy is. I couldn't find
anything either, but I know I've seen him either in commercials or other TV shows.
And there's always Easter eggs in this thing. So I thought maybe that was like he was in, because Lamplighter's an X-Men. He was the winter guy or whatever.
He was Iceman in the X-Men movies. But yeah, we've got Butcher and Starlight. They're trying to convince the guy to give up your car, man. We got to get this guy to the hospital. The guy's like, I'm not giving up my car. We're out in the middle of nowhere, but I'll give you a ride to the hospital. And that's not good enough for Butcher. So Butcher takes Huey over. He's puts him down. He's about to pull his gun out, and the dude with the car runs to his glove box
and
grabs
gets
his gun. which gives Starlight motivation to use her powers now to knock him down.
Which they acted like he was dead, but they didn't. Later on they're talking like he's dead.
He is dead. Because when she uses her powers and it knocks him back, he hits his head on the concrete.
Oh, I missed that little.
And then you see like a pool of blood coming
I must have looked away or something from that part.
There's So this is the first time. It's a key scene because this is the first time that Starlight has killed somebody.
Yeah, and she's like, now she sees herself as Butcher.
Yes.
A little bit like Butcher. I'll do whatever it takes.
Yes.
And she makes that comment, and Butcher's really pleased.
Yeah, when they're
so happy that she's a killer.
Yeah, and she's like, don't you think we're anything alike, when actually they are like, we're willing to do anything. We go back to the psychiatric hospital. We're still in the room. Frenchie's making the bomb. They're still talking about why that night Lamplighter was supposed to kill Colonel Mallory in her bed.
Just the not the kids.
Just Colonel. The Colonel, because he obviously didn't want whatever she had on him to get out. So he went to her house instead of the premiere. Frenchie was tailing her, and that's when Frenchie got a phone call that his golden girlfriend was overdosing on drugs. So
he left the tail.
Yeah. Left the tail, went to go inject the guy, Pulp Fiction style with something.
But in the arm. He didn't do it in the heart like
that's true. That's true. So we find out that's why Frenchie wasn't able to stop Lamplighter from killing Colonel Mallory's grandchildren.
And so that's why Frenchie feels guilty. Lamplighter, and that's why, and Eminem and all those guys broke up probably because of that, because they thought Frenchie either let it happen or dropped his tail or whatever. If he would have Eminem's like, if he just told us, we would have been cool. Why did you do it? Blah blah blah. And
we would have let you off the hook. And Frenchie's like, who says I want to be left off the hook?
That was. I know. I saw that line coming a mile away. By the way.
I did too. But it gives us good backstory on Frenchie and why his motivation and why he does so much drugs. I guess. He's trying to deal with the guilt of everything.
He was doing drugs before.
And then we clearly get explanation as to what the psychiatric hospital's for. Is Vought trying to stabilize the compound V by injecting it into adults? So we finally get that basically explained out to us. So from there is a very interesting scene. Mother's Milk is standing next to the door when some sort of snake-like object comes breaking through the window.
A massive, like a thick, fat, girthy.
Yes.
Like at first you think it's like an octopus or like a super or like one of his legs or his arms or something.
Tentacle or something.
Tentacle, yes.
But what'd you say his name was?
Love Sausage.
Love Sausage.
I saw it in the credits.
Yes, Love Sausage. The man who apparently his superpower is to have a large penis,
like massively large, like a whale or something.
Yes,
and able to strangle MM.
Yeah. So Kamiko runs out there.
Kamiko gets him. That's right.
Yeah. And she has
and then the sausage shrivels up.
Yeah. She punches him in the forehead and leaves her little metal brass knuckles that say "bossy" on his head. So from there they get out. They knocked out Love
Sausage. A couple jokes about him being wrapped up with a
strangled
by
and Frenchie's like, hey, don't knock it till you tried it or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. See, again, these are references that makes me think maybe Lamplighter.
Because going back to the movie premiere that Lamplighter was at, he had a supermodel on his arm. So maybe
like a fake type
like
setup
a beard
thing
type situation. But from there, we're out in the hallway of the psychiatric hospital. We see the shaved head telekinetic superhero. Frenchie gets his bomb out. He rolls it out. It basically gets squashed. She telekinetically takes it and squashes it with the metal.
Her name is Cindy. I figured out that her name is
Cindy. Oh, it is? Okay, Cindy. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I just kept calling her 11 because
I know she's from Stranger Things. Yeah.
But Stormfront comes in right before Cindy goes after the group and electrocutes her, knocks her out, and calls out for Lamplighter. And at this moment, Lamplighter can either turn over the Frenchie and Mother's Milk and Kamiko, or he can be some sort of redemption moment, which he does. He doesn't give them up. He steps out and tells Lamplighter what happened, makes up a story about doctor giving the wrong propofol dosage.
Yeah.
And she, of course, Stormfront's all upset because she's had to, kill all their patients who escaped, and now she's got to go and clean up this mess and
start over again.
Yeah,
get a whole bunch more subjects and stuff.
Yeah, basically, this doctor, or according to Lamplighter's story, this doctor just ruined their entire experiment. So,
yeah.
From there, we go back to the hospital. They're rushing Huey in. This was a very funny scene. Huey's laying there in the hospital room, and they start talking about the baby shampoo that he uses,
yeah,
and how he wipes his bum every morning with Desitin.
Which it's bonding them. It's making them a family. Like, they're knowing all these, they bond over here.
Yeah, Starlight and Butcher are finally getting along now, but
and they're both more manly. Stereotypically manly than he is.
Yes,
than Huey is. Yes.
Huey's just
find like Starlight or Andy is more of a Butcher type guy, like a guy like he would like than Huey is.
Yes, because she's tough. But I love the his Axe body spray. That must be what Vin Diesel smells like.
Yes, that was funny.
So it was good moment there where they're bonding. From there, we go back to Maeve's apartment, where she's taking a shower, and her partner is like, I'm going to order some food. So she goes and to a drawer to get out either a menu or her wallet or something, and she finds the camcorder that the Deep brought Maeve on.
Why is Maeve just laying that around? This is her major piece of information.
Exactly.
And this goes back to, how does Vought not know everything she has and what she does? And she doesn't put it in a safe. She doesn't put it in anything. Just laying there. That's just silly and ridiculous.
Just in the drawer where you keep your wallet or your keys or something. It's so silly. But her partner finds it. She turns the camcorder on. She's watching the footage of the plane crash. A dude's like telling his wife goodbye, I love you, before the plane crashes. And Maeve comes out of the shower, and she's trying to explain to her partner, I'm trying to get Homelander. I should have stood up to him, but I didn't. I was scared.
I mean, I get the storyline kind of, because they could be able to play with the corporate take on gay and her love, but it's a really kind of a wasted relationship to me. It really doesn't have any. It was a way to, I guess, to see what was on the film, but there's no real investment in it. It doesn't really move the storyline along. Not really.
Much. Not a whole lot, but it's kind of they've been working this whole angle of Maeve and her partner. Homelander holding that over her head. So now her partner's in on it. So from there, we cut to the woods. The gang has stolen an ambulance. Their Mother's Milk's on the phone with Butcher, and Butcher tells him Huey's okay. And Frenchie has a moment with Kamiko where he says, I've been trying to save you. You don't need saving. I can't blame you for what you've been doing.
And Kamiko understands Frenchie a little more.
Yeah, I'm going to leave you alone. But we get a moment where Kamiko, I don't know if she wants Frenchie to leave her alone, because he gets up and walks away, and she kind of looks at him longingly like, oh, don't go.
Because now she understands him, a little empathy for him.
And this is when Colonel Mallory shows up in her Range Rover, and apparently Mother's Milk called her and said, hey, we've got Lamplighter who killed your grandchildren. And Colonel Mallory is obviously enraged. She's got her gun. She's ready to shoot Lamplighter for killing her grandchildren. Lamplighter's like, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, he's not.
And Frenchie's like, this isn't going to help. He's, him living with what he did is worse than death. That old, it's kind of
tropish.
Very tropish. But so ultimately, Colonel Mallory does not pull the trigger. From there, we jump to the apartment of Stormfront and Homelander. Homelander's standing there. He's finally going to confront her. And this is where the whole show this is major. We basically, Liberty / Stormfront tells Homelander everything about her. That she has a daughter. She was born. Stormfront was born in 1919. The lady we thought Adele, we thought was her mother, was actually her daughter. She's dead. Stormfront, or Liberty at the time, had a thing going with Vought, the guy who started the entire company and Compound V. So
she's a full-blown Nazi.
Yes.
Straight up Nazi.
Yeah. We see photos of her and all the major players in the Nazi World War II party. It was weird to me. They never actually mentioned Hitler's name. They mentioned Goebbels and all the
I think it's because she hung with like the quote unquote medical people, the scientists.
Well, she did, but they make mention of Hitler, who's in the picture.
Oh, that's true.
But they don't, and then they say, of course, the biggest guy of them all. But they never come right out and say it. But
true.
Then she shows them a wedding photo where she married Vought, the guy that started the company, and we find out that Homelander, of course, with the blonde hair and
he's
the
blue ultimate eyes. Aryan Brotherhood guy.
Exactly. So we find out that there are Nazi ties, which is bad guy in a lot of movies,
and they're trying to make us the super race and super soldiers, so that it's not about money or anything like that. I mean, kind of about money, but it's about taking over the world.
Yes,
with the best race.
Yeah, she mentions our culture, our race is under. We're in a war for the culture, and our race is being. Their other races are grinding us down. She says.
Very relevant stuff. And then you're not really sure how Homelander is going to take it, but of course he's a narcissist. So the fact that he's like the greatest Aryan, it wouldn't matter what he was. They could say you're the biggest stooge. He'd probably love it. Yeah. So they get it on again.
Yeah. They get it on. And then we just have a nice throwaway scene at the end, which could lead to something down the road.
Definitely could.
Cindy, or 11, the bald telekinetic soup, is hitchhiking. And meanwhile, the Golden Girls theme is playing.
Yes, thank you
for being a friend.
As they're doing it.
Yeah. So overall, great episode.
Way better than last week.
Yeah. We've got a whole new. We found out a lot of backstory.
I just don't know how they're going to wrap it in 2 without either speeding things up too much or just one scene where bam, Homelander and Starlighter dead, or Homelander and Stormfront are dead.
Well, I do know it's been approved for a 3rd season.
Okay.
So, which hopefully will mean they're not going to try and wrap it up too fast.
Right.
And they'll hopefully have, I don't mind a good cliffhanger. And if they build up when the next 2 episodes and it's a cliffhanger until the next season, I'm fine with that. I think I think it's worth it. I'd rather them do that, stretch it out till next season, than try and wrap it up in 2 episodes.
I agree. All right. We will do it again next week.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Goodbye, all.
Goodbye.